Yes.
Yeah.
And then when I look at that era, when you saw let's talk about the new jack swing, hip hop soul, the whole visual presentation of it. There's the dancing and the background dancers and stuff like that. Was that your vibe? Was that your lane when you look at that? Or did you see yourself more just that you singing without having all
I
the
felt
other
like I said
extra?
to you, I was going to sign to Qwest. The reason why I didn't sign to
Mhm.
Qwest, and this is an exclusive, I've spoken about it, but never really said in detail because I just try not to be messy, but I'm grown and I can say what I want to say and it's not nobody can do. I was gonna sign the Qwest. I definitely had a love for it's not like I didn't like what I was doing on Uptown. Don't get me wrong, Stevie. I definitely
Mhm.
enjoyed it. It was young, it was today, it was what was popping. You know what I'm saying? Who didn't like Guy? Who didn't like Teddy? Who didn't like Heavy? But that didn't mean that that's who I was as an artist. Like I told you, I don't know, like, I'm not the type of artist that wants to sing songs about having abortion. Like that's
But
what
see,
they wanted me to do. And
it
to
seemed like
me,
you were more cosmopolitan, so to speak, is that you had so many different ingredients in what you brought to the table. You probably would have been a perfect fit for Quest because Quincy came from that same type of situation, and that's something that he would appreciate it, he connected with. So when you look at the type of female artists that he would work with, the young ones like the Tamias and people like
right.
that, it seemed like you would have been not necessarily in that lane.
I think I would have had a little more hip hop or a little more of that grit to me than to me per se, but not necessarily what Uptown, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
not only that, you know what I'm saying? And I was going to sign, like I said, after Quincy flew me out to Cali. I met also with Joe Busby because he wanted to sign me. I was going to sign with Qwest. What happened is at the time, Qwest was being distributed by two distributors, one being Warner Brothers, and the other one was Reprise, right? So they took me around to meet everybody because, the way it worked, I believe, like maybe one album would be on distributed by Reprise, one would be distributed. So it was imperative that I knew the staff at both Reprise and Warner. So when I was out there, they took me around to meet everybody, all of the executives at both Warner and Reprise, as well as at Qwest. I had already made up my mind I was going to sign with Quincy. I felt like I could learn a lot from him, like just looking at what he did with Michael. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think because he was older, I couldn't learn from him because whatever may have been outdated, if there was such a thing with him, I felt like I had as being a first generation hip hop baby. I'm already working with all of the who's who of hip hop. So if I want to infuse that into my soul sound, I already know the top producers or whoever else to get, right? So I was really stuck on signing with Quincy and had made up my mind. That was around the time they were doing the Unplugged, Uptown Unplugged, because I was supposed to be on that, but I was out there at the time with Quincy. So I didn't think I was going to be on the Who's the Man soundtrack and all of that because it was kind of like predicated like, well, if you don't sign with us, we're probably not going to use your song on the soundtrack type of thing, which was fine with me. I made up my mind I was going to sign with Qwest. And then I got a phone call from an executive at Warner Brothers who was basically trying to snake Quincy and have me sign to Warner Brothers. And my mind was like, Dag, if you would be that bold to try to snake Quincy, and if I don't sign with you, then that means that I'm subject to maybe not pushing my project. And that was Benny Medina. So now all of a sudden, and it's my first time ever saying it, so y'all got an exclusive. I never said I spoke about it before, but I didn't say the name. But what happened is I got home and I'm getting calls from him and his assistant wanting to sign me. And I'm like, Dad, I met you through Quincy. If you would be bold enough to do that to Quincy Jones, you know. So it was like, Dad, here we go with this business shit. You know what I'm saying? I just want to create. I don't want to be caught up in nobody. I've had other instances similar to this where I was caught up in some executive stuff. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just a talent. So they knew, you know, we were negotiating back and forth with attorneys. Deal was almost done. And all of a sudden, so Mike Stratford is calling me, trying to figure out what's going on, what happened. I didn't want to say anything. Now I don't want to be in the middle of this politics and whatever else. I'm just a singer. I'm just here to do my, you know, my thing. They kept being adamant. I finally told Mike Stratford, and then Quincy just started calling me, and this is when the little cassette things was out on the voice. This was before voicemail, so you had the little, and he was calling, Crystal, darling, it's Quincy, pick up the phone, darling. And I'm like calling my Suzette at Sony. I'm like, Quincy keep calling me. I don't know what to do. I was like not wanting to be in the middle of that mess because I knew that what he had done was not right and there was going to be a problem. And I'm like, Dad, I don't want to be in the middle of this, but now I have to trust this man to push my record. So that's why I signed Uptown. So I guess I was a little disappointed when the vision that they had for me wasn't aligned with the vision I had for myself. And me knowing that the vision that Quincy had was more in alignment. So when I left Uptown, I spoke to Quincy and Mike, and I was gonna go, but it was like this was, you know, before I got released because of Andre going up Motown. I had Capital and Qwest, and basically Andre agreed to let me out, you know, with, you know, getting his money back and this and that. But the stipulation was, and we didn't find out to the end, was like basically he wanted everything after first record sold without hooping. So that made other labels basically saying, we can't give you a couple of $100,000 to get me out the deal, and after whatever the points that we agreed upon. I'm search, you know, off the top of the head, talking about 30, 40 years ago, whatever. So yeah, 30 years ago now. But so it didn't wind up happening. I had to sit around for a year, and then I got out of my deal. By that time, I didn't even really want to be signed in a label. So you're right, Steve. It's not that I didn't want to be on Uptown. I just don't think that they saw we didn't have the same vision.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind.
And somewhere in between
us for even loving us,
on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up? She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for me, but just for me,
No, okay, you're okay.
they don't understand what Jonas boys and men and all spirits.
Play it.
I mean, I love all different genres.